think I have 4 films left. I'm in the car, and we are moving to Orange County, New York. Let's see. There's They Shall Not Grow Old, which is a Peter Jackson documentary. I do not normally have thoughts about documentaries. I'm not going to pretend to have a lot of thoughts. Basically, you're filming things that happened. This one was really cool because I guess, like they restored a bunch of old footage. Who knew what World War I looked like? That's really, really old. Then there's Zombieland 2, Booksmart, and Brittany Runs a Marathon. So let's start with Booksmart. This is a film that is often compared to Superbad because Jonah Hill's sister stars in it. So way to go for nepotism there for Jonah Hill getting another family member in the show business. This is a film that I think is way better than Superbad. I thought Superbad was extremely uneventful. Basically, most nights in college that I had in college were more eventful than Superbad, and movies should be a little bit more exciting than your average Saturday night. This is a film that Booksmart was a film that is about two young women who are on the verge of graduation. I think it's either 2 nights before graduation or 1 night before graduation, and they're like, we have not had any adventures, we haven't lived, and we need to do something reckless and stupid before we graduate. Sadly, I have felt that way in my own life, with I have a big deadline coming, and I'm like, oh my god, the year's almost over. Did I get to do this or that? It's December. I gotta start. And it has a really great ensemble of people. It has a lot of different cliques. It has the jock, but the jock is, it has the jock, it has the drama nerd, it has Billy Lord plays this stoner figure who is supernaturally teleporting everywhere. It has the rich kid who wants to be liked, and it's really, really kind of very, very well drawn details about these kids. It's not caricatures. You can kind of relate to these. You can relate to these archetypes. It's also a story that is not lazily written. It's Hangover-esque in that they go from point A to point B to point C to point D and point E again, and then back to point D. It also has, it certainly has humor in terms of the characters. Again, I loved Billy Lord's, I believe her name was Gigi character. The drama guy played by Noah Galvin, which, that guy was, added something to the mix. The principal got a few highlighted notes in there. And it also, I think that there was a certain banter. There was a certain, the opening scene shows these 2 girls and they're dancing and they're doing this stupid dance and they know that it's stupid and they keep doing it, and it's they're just being them, and you get them, and it's so it has a lot to offer in terms of idiosyncratic stories. And another film to compare it to, a film that's somewhat underrated perhaps, is Cedar Rapids, a 2011 film with Ed Helms, John C. Reilly, Anne Hesh, Kurtwood Smith, Alia Shawkat, or whatever. This is a film about a guy who basically is a bit sheltered, and over the course of one crazy weekend, he sort of finds himself and finds the courage to stand up to his bosses and his company. So basically, that's basically all I got on Booksmart. Then I would have to go with Brittany Runs a Marathon. I think this is my second favorite film of the year besides Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Doesn't necessarily even have a lot to say about it, but it is a film about a young woman who needs to make better life choices. And running used to be part of my identity. I was a track and cross-country person in high school, and I attempted to pursue it in college for a bit, and I've had some stints, running after those 2 periods, and the feeling of it is not easy. It's running a marathon isn't just running a marathon. It's basically a marathon of training. It doesn't. You have to run and then run again and then run again, and you have to be consistent. You have to work. You have to build part of your life around it, and it takes a lot of discipline. And the film has moments where it's hilarious. It has a really interesting relationship between Brittany and a woman who lives next door, upstairs from her, who she calls Martha Moneybags, and one of the biggest twists and funniest things, even though it's a tragic comic moment, is that we don't even know Martha Moneybags' actual name is something different, and it's kind of it's a bit of like a forced relationship on one end, but then it becomes very organic and very natural, and we learn deeper issues into the character that the protagonist kind of pushes people away, and the way that you learn that, not through Michaela Watkins' character, but through Jillian Bell's and her brother-in-law and her sister, that's big. It also, it has a lot of interesting interactions. It's also a story about how sometimes friends grow old, and sometimes friendships don't work out, and it's a film that's not necessarily about, dumping or hating on people who aren't part of that new friend group, but it's a film about it's a film about evolution, and I think any runner can relate to it, but it's also about kind of like that sort of rut sometimes people find themselves in a certain area of their adulthood, and on that level it's really good. So we are now turning, I think we're going to a rest stop. I do not know, I am not in control of the car, nor are my parents probably going to tell me where we're going, so I know we're not at our destination. So we are at 6:29. I think that's a good place to stop. Anyway, looking forward to catching up with you in a little bit.